Yikes. Hi everyone, welcome, got music in my ears, welcome to this episode of Pretty Coffee with Kristen. I am here on the Divalution Show with Deb St Hilaire. So we're going to be talking for the next, we don't know. Well, I don't know. We're going to talk about how we're going to stop hating ourselves and start loving ourselves, as well as so many other things. So this is going to be a little bit longer show than usual. Usually my shows are very short because we're all busy. But this one's going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to stay on as long as we're on the radio show. So thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Kristen Schmidt. I'm here with Deb St Hilaire. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things, all about pretty. So let me put my headset on.
And put the microphone down to your mouth.
Oh,
okay.
Right.
So here I am in studio at 1017 Washington
Hold on,
Avenue in Bay City, and I'm here with a friend of mine I haven't seen for a while, and I'm looking forward to you getting to meet her. She was a guest on Diva Dialogue before. And were you on the Divalution Show too?
I was.
Yes,
I was.
yes.
I was on both. And I don't know, can you make this live so you can hear it in the studio?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I mean, you can... Oh, so because they can't hear me.
They can't hear you. Exactly.
Huh.
Hold on. Technical difficulties. We're going to get this figured out. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think if we find a place to put that they can hear us without... I think they could hear us.
Hold on. I'm going to take this off for a second. Okay. Can you put it like in the air?
No. Try leaning it up against this fan.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay. All right. I'm going to try this. Well, here, I'm just going to hold it. I'm just going to hold it right here. And I'll just hold it, and you talk, and I'll talk.
All right. Can you tell if they can hear me?
I don't know. Let me know if you can hear both Deb and I. If you're, hey, Kat, can you hear us both, or can you just hear me? Or can you hear both of us talking? All right, let's just do the show, and then hopefully it's just going to work out. So just kind of talk a little louder if you can.
I bet you it will. And if it doesn't, I'll send you a MP3.
Okay, or you can go to, is it online? Can they go online?
Yeah,
listen?
it'll be on.
Okay, w4divas.com.
Right, that's right.
So, all right, what we're going to talk today about is...
All
right, can you hear me?
Well,
that's never been a problem.
That's
all right.
Perfect.
Okay. We're going to be talking today about how we hate ourselves and we get into self-loathing and why that happens, why we do that, and what it is that kind of gets us there. It seems like the older we get, it seems like it almost sometimes gets worse, and I think it's because life kind of gets us down and things kind of come at us. So we're going to be talking about that today, both Deb and I. She is amazing. She has a radio show, and she has called the Divalution, and she's at w4divas.com, and she's just moving into a new place and asked me to be on her show today, so of course I am. And this is going to be our topic. So if you have any questions, please let me know. We'll answer them.
I could open up the phone lines if you want me to, too.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Right, I'll do that.
You can call in
at 989 402 5414.
What is it?
5414.
5414. So if you have any questions, let us know. But I think that on the way here, I was thinking today about how Deb and I we've both been working on our businesses, and it's both about empowering women. And we've known each other for, gosh, how long now?
That's a good
couple of years.
question.
We've known each other for a couple of years, and you know how you meet someone, you just click, and you just like, okay, we need to be friends. My cousin Kelly told me about Deb and said, you've got to meet her. They were working out together, and so you've got to meet her. She has a book, she has a radio show, so of course, I've got to know her. So now that we both believe in a lot of the same things. We believe in empowering each other, and we also believe that just because you've been through things in life, it doesn't mean that you can't do things. We've all had struggles, and we've also had triumphs. So you just need to kind of keep going in your life. And we talked about this morning how it changed the last couple of years. that, getting to where we want to be with empowering women. And I kind of took a little bit of a hiatus, and I'm back, and she moved, she's in a new place, she's back. So it's just time. It's just time that we become who we need to become.
And we were talking about gut feelings and the way people influence us. And every time that bad things, I shouldn't say bad things, every time my business took a wrong turn, it was because I listened to somebody else.
Always. I just went through that. I went through that recently. I listened to someone else kind of tell me.
You should have called me.
I should have called you. You would have slapped me. You would have slapped me right in the face, punched me right in the face, because I believe that someone else knew more about me than I knew about me. So it didn't. Obviously that's not going to. That's not going to. That doesn't work. You better than anyone else on the planet knows you. So believe me, I want, please listen. Don't think someone else knows more about you or knows what is best for you more than you, because you know you. That was a huge mistake I made. But you know what? Lesson learned. So now learn from my mistake and know yourself.
I'm going to test this to see if I can hear me on Facebook.
Okay.
The studio looks really good in that.
The studio
picture.
does look good. I'll know. She said the studio, not me.
You can hear me.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So we're just going to keep going.
So this
is a first that we've done the show on Facebook Live. So I apologize for all the slow start and the technical difficulties, because that's just life. That's just life.
That's life in radio.
That's life in radio. Okay,
Yes.
Life in radio. So yes, so that is number one, and that is the one thing that I've learned, and that is so critical, is we tend to think that others know more than we do, and we tend to also feel that we don't know as much as we truly know. We don't give ourselves
enough credit, right?
Mm-mm.
But you know what? Sometimes there are people that know more than us.
Oh, sure.
And it's a fine line, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a fine line.
Yeah.
It almost is like bullying, I think, when someone is trying to tell you what to do when it's your business, and when you get that feeling, and maybe our minds don't always tell us that, because sometimes financially their way would be better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There are experts and there are people, of course, that know
Right.
more technical, or know more things
Right.
than you. Of course, I do agree with that. We don't know
those
everything.
There are people that we have to trust and rely on.
Yes.
But when it feels bad in your gut, and
It's wrong.
interfering with the way that you do business, that's the whole thing. When it interferes with the way that you do business, and you feel like you're compromising yourself.
Well, compromising yourself, and not just business, life. Like not just business,
That's
life.
right.
Because we tend to, especially as women,
How would I know?
We ask someone else, we'll ask someone else questions, or we don't know, so we think that we'll ask others. But you're right, though, it is, and I think that the one thing that all I can say is, as you go out and you try to get experts or whatever, is if it doesn't feel right, you know what? It's not right.
Right.
It's not right. It's not going to be right. And you just know. I knew. I mean, I've gotten myself in situations where I knew that it was wrong, but I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my own judgment. I didn't trust my own knowledge, I guess, that they know more than me. So I lost myself in that.
And it's sad. Number one, it makes me mad that there's people like that, because they try to push their values and expertise on you instead of collaborating and making it a win-win.
Yes.
They try to make it too much of a win for them, and yet twist it around to where you think, well, maybe I really don't know, and then you doubt yourself, and it's not a win for you at all.
No, and then you get into that self-doubt, and once you get into that self-doubt, and I think that's huge. I think that is, a lot of that has to do with your confidence and really, really trusting that you do know some things.
Right.
You do know some things. It isn't just, I think intuition. Exactly, Shelley Lundquist just said, I'm so glad you've learned to trust your intuition, and I have. Now, it's really funny. Years ago, I started businesses, and they were successful, and I did them, but I didn't have the knowledge. I just went completely on intuition, and it was right. And then it just seemed like, which I don't understand, I think life, and we start getting kind of beat down a little bit, we start losing ourselves. I kind of lost that confidence in myself. I quit listening to my own intuition, because you have all the answers in your own heart and soul, and you do. I believe that so strongly now, and I tell people that, if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't. If it doesn't feel right, it will never feel right. I don't care if it's someone you're dating. I don't care if it's a new job, or even if you walk into a home to buy a new home. When you walk in and something doesn't feel right, or you meet a new person and it doesn't feel right, it will that's your soul talking to you that it's not right.
Yes.
So stop and
right.
and then trust yourself. And and we try to rationalize, and sometimes we don't hurt other people's feelings. That's huge. I don't want to hurt their feelings, so I'm going to listen to them. So, if it doesn't feel right, you don't have to be rude about it. Just trust your own heart and soul. And if something isn't right for you, don't move forward with that.
Right. And one of the things I always say, and you've heard me say this before, we put ourselves out there. You and I
Yes.
have already talked about this.
Yes, we put ourselves out there.
We don't have to.
Mm-mm.
We could stay home and clean our houses and go for walks with
Yes.
our dogs, and we don't have to do what we do.
No.
And there's going to be people that don't like us.
I know. It's hard when someone doesn't like you.
It is. But
It is. When someone doesn't like me, I'm like,
yeah,
I'm devastated.
It is. And you have to get to a point where you know that what you're doing is right.
Yes.
You know that what you're doing is your passion and your purpose.
Yes. And you have to be you.
If they don't like us?
It does. Yes. I have gotten there. It's like, well, I'm going to do this. That's what I'm going to do, and don't look back.
Right.
I think that's, the older we get, the older we get, the more we realize, what, not going to waste my time on something that doesn't, if they don't like me, then okay.
Yeah, it's okay that people don't like us. And being naive, I am naive a little bit, because I always think people are going to like me. And when they don't, it used to shock me. And
yes.
now it doesn't anymore. And, you hit the nail on the head when you said be yourself.
Be yourself.
That
you have to.
You're going to attract the right people to you, and the right people are going to like you, and they're going to like you, not who you're pretending to be.
Who you're pretending to be. And you're right. And you can only keep that up for so long.
Yeah.
If you see someone else is doing something, whether it be, Shelley just said, if someone doesn't like you, it's got nothing to do with you, and clearly they're crazy because you're fabulous. I love you, Shelley. Thank you. Yeah, they're crazy. But you're right, though. You can only... I have to be me, and and my personality is, I can't not. It's like I can't not be me, because I just can't. I can't not. And we also get into a trap of, if you see someone doing something that you kind of want to do, so then what you'll do is you'll kind of try to imitate them and do it as they do. That is such a huge mistake. That is one of the biggest mistakes you can make in your entire life, is try to be like someone else. Even if you think they're fabulous, great. Let them. Oh, I like that. Thank you. That's good light. I think that if you now I can see better. But if you like the way they do things, great. Learn from people. Of course, learn from people, but don't try to be like them, because it comes across so inauthentic. It comes across so badly, even though you might be thinking that you're doing great. And my friend Debbie did this one time. We were at a business meeting, and she was doing the meeting, and she was being extremely professional. And she's really she's a little more like me. I'm not like a really professional, serious person. That's not my personality. It's not how I roll. So she was trying to be like that, and then we got done with the meeting, and it lasted like forever. And we got out. I said, "What was that? What the hell are you doing? This isn't even you." And it was a horrible flop. And so we had to go to another meeting. guess what? She acted like herself. It was amazing. But she was trying to be so professional, and she just came across horrible. So that's not her. It's not her way. If that's your way, however you are, be that. If you're very quiet, don't try to be extroverted because you think someone else, is doing it better. It doesn't work that way.
And, you can have both sides. You can have a very professional side and have it still be authentically you.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I'm not saying just be crazy.
Right. But you're so right. Still, that authenticism has to come through. You're absolutely right.
It does.
And sometimes it's like you're on a stage.
Oh yeah.
And you're performing. And that's fine. And that's what being a diva is all about. It's about being comfortable in all those situations, but still be
you.
Right.
Because I'm going to act differently, when I'm out to
really
dinner with a business person versus being, in the backyard at the pool with my girlfriends.
Right.
I mean, there's going to be I'm going to act a little bit different. But I'm still me.
That's right. Facebook Live is newer, and we have not played with it very much in studio. So I'm trying to get it to where we can get both of us.
Oh yeah,
and I'm not having very good luck.
No, we have to sit side by side if we're going to both be in it.
Yeah, but you know what? The way that they had it in the studio this morning, it was working for both people. But I ended mine anyway.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, we'll get this down. We'll get this tech down. Maybe.
So and if we don't, that's okay too. We'll find something else. So the whole thing is to always be yourself, but in order to always be yourself, you have to know who you are.
Oh, you have to know who you are. You're to be authentic. There it is. You're right. You have to discover, and you need to discover you, and that we sometimes forget little parts of us that make us us. Because we feel like they're not. We lose them. Mm-hmm. We lose them. We become.
We lose them to our children. We lose them to our husbands. We lose them. Mm-hmm. When I think about a lot of people our age are taking care of children and they're taking care of their elderly parents.
Yes.
I mean, oh my gosh.
Replenish. There's only so much time in the day, and you have to have self care. That is one thing that we have. Been taught or feel that self-care is selfish, and it's selfish, and it's not it's selfish basically. Like we don't feel
the opposite.
Oh, it's so the opposite. It's so the opposite because if you don't take care of yourself and what you need to do for you, there's nothing left for anyone else.
That's exactly it. Think about if you drink a glass of water and you don't keep refilling it, you're going to get really thirsty.
Yes.
It's the same
exact thing.
And you need to find out what it is that replenishes you, because what replenishes you and what replenishes me might be completely different. Yes,
that's so true.
And it might be the same, but it might be totally different.
It be totally different. Like, some people, they, they'll want to run,
Mm-hmm.
No. That's not how I replenish myself by running. No, I did not at all. I'm more of a bubble bath kind of girl. And that you're right. It's to each his own. And we forget these little things like if you knit or you color or you read or whatever it is that garden. That's another thing I can't stand is that garden.
Oh, that's funny. See, and I don't know if you're into astrology or not, but I have in my chart, and I never knew this.
Yes.
But I like walking barefoot in dirt and grass and sand. I've always been like that.
Really?
Yes. And when I had my chart done years ago, I still didn't understand this. And this lady recently told me that there's no earth signs in my chart. It's all air and water.
Really?
And so that's the way that I ground myself.
Well, would you look at that?
Isn't that something?
That is something.
And I intuitively knew that. And I think it all back to intuition again, doesn't it?
Everything does.
Because
everything
does. Your intuition, that feels good. There's a reason why you're hungry for something.
Absolutely.
If you're craving a food, your body must need that.
Yes.
Trust it. Listen to it.
Listen, I love this topic. Oh, thank you so much, Catherine, for saying that. Thank you. I think that I think that everything comes down to intuition. Mm-hmm. I think it comes down to, the everything.
From little to
side, but that is, I don't mean as we're kind of don't boastful.
Right.
Don't be boastful because people they take it as bragging. But
I have a hard time talking about myself. You would have this conversation before too.
Hard. Yeah, it's hard.
I didn't. You just said matter of fact.
Yes, it will. I'm working on my bio. I've been working on my bio for my website, and I'll tell you, I get about 3 words in, and
you need somebody else.
I need someone to write my bio. I can't write my own bio.
I'll help.
Because I can't write my own bio because it's like, gosh, what do I don't even know what to say. Now I could write someone else's, and and with all the and everything being wonderful, but for myself, it's totally different. So it's hard to not to brag or think that we're better than we are, and we kind of tone that down. My cousins, we kind of lose that. My cousin's little girl, she's 5, and she was walking in front of this is how we lose this, but she was walking in front of the television. The television was off, and she saw herself, in the television. She could see herself, and she flipped her hair, and she said, "Hey, girl," and she kept on talking to herself. Why do we lose that? Thank you, Catherine, for the bio. Where do we lose that? And I know she flipped that hair and kept right on moving. It felt like she was.
Mom didn't correct her.
Oh no! She encourages it. To her to be confident.
One day, this past summer, my husband was in the emergency room, and we had an emergency room nurse.
Okay.
And we lose ourselves too much because of what other people say.
We do.
And she was talking about her son who is so down to earth and blah, blah, blah. And she said, and my daughter is all unicorns and teddy bears or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to pull her down and tell her that's exactly what she was doing, pulling her down. She was
why?
Good thing to do.
No. That's sad because that's what she learned.
Exactly. And I took everything in me not to say something.
Oh, I
did. And that's we do that to our children. We take that spirit from them.
Mm-hmm.
That
and it's sad, and we're trying to make her be realistic. And I'm sure she didn't mean bad.
She did.
You think she meant bad for her?
Think
or you think she was like trying to not let her be disappointed in life? Well, don't get your hopes up. You'll be disappointed.
Yeah,
Maybe that was
why
her.
shouldn't you have your hopes
that might have,
up?
but that might have been her reality.
Yeah.
That was the mom's reality more than likely.
Why should you expect things?
Yeah.
Out, and when I hear people say stuff about the millennials that they expect things.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you expect something, it happens. It's the law of the universe.
It is.
So why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? You have to work for it.
I expect it to be a great success, and I am willing to work for it.
Exactly.
But if I thought the opposite, do you think people would be coming in here?
Oh no. Yeah, you have to believe in your. It has to be whatever you're passionate about or whatever it is that you're doing. You have to believe it. If I didn't believe in Bring Pretty Back, if I didn't believe in it, I couldn't do it.
Right.
I couldn't. There's no way, and you couldn't also. You couldn't do what you do.
If it was your passion and you thought, I'm going to do this, and I know it's never going to go anywhere.
Yes.
Then why?
Why would you bother? Oh, absolutely. Oh, of course. And it is. It's really a double-edged sword because you have to work for it. You have to believe in it, but you also and there is something about that's why I think The Secret was such a big hoopla.
Right.
Was people were like, oh my gosh, I have permission to dream.
And that was really about the first book about manifesting, wasn't it? That
mainstream.
Right.
Now, because I have a lot of books on that topic from 100 years ago.
Yeah, but nobody read them.
Nobody read them.
Selective.
Yeah, they kind of went away, but you're right, and that's what kind of got everybody recharged
do you know Waddles?
Yes, Wallace.
Waddles,
yes. Yes, of course.
I love that.
I do too, and that's where kind of what it was written.
And I almost didn't because of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I thought, well, that's not all I want.
You want more.
Money is wonderful,
but you want to be happy.
Right.
You want to be happy.
And I want to have money because people are helping people.
Sure.
And that's
absolutely. It isn't just about how much, how many you can buy for yourself. I absolutely agree. I think we need Wallace Waddles, and I think that science of getting rich. I think that's called science of getting rich. And I think that we do. I think you're right. We aren't going to do good. Not that we can't have nice things because we can. But there's more to it with the money. There's more to it.
But the people that we're going to have the people that they don't support.
I think that what I'm a all help each other. Someone has written a bestseller, her doesn't get to
and the person in the
the gas you're right. Synchronicity. And there's this competition of or whether it be in a way there is.
And I think a lot of times it comes on reads gossip and backstabbing.
Oh, for absolutely.
And that is so unnecessary.
It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary because he doesn't follow us. Doesn't do it. Yes, and love.
And love.
Love.
That's absolutely
right.
We really could end the show right now.
We could drop mic and walk out.
Yeah.
Boom.
Love.
But you're right. It's that's what it's about, and that's what Bring Pretty Back is to me, is to let everyone know. You know what? You're not alone. You're not alone.
And that's the whole reason that this radio station is here. It's the whole reason I wrote the book, Divalution, the Evolution and Revolution of the Diva. It's because whatever you are going through now, someone else has been through. You are not alone. Let them.
You're not alone.
When you get to the other side of whatever you're going through, there's going to be other people going through it. Help them.
Help them. I'll tell you.
It gives reason for your pain. It
gives reason
to your pain.
And I talk about mine, and I've talked about how I have hated myself, just absolutely loathed myself because of my weight, because of primarily my weight, and then of course all the flaws that you see in the mirror of yourself that you don't like. So you feel as though you're not worth anything. That's how you feel, and there were years that I felt so badly about myself that I didn't even paint my nails, because what
oh my
what
God, not
that I didn't paint my nails. I know, that goes to show you. I was like, but I didn't paint my nails because I figured, why bother? I mean, look at me. There's nothing attractive about me. There's nothing pretty about me. There's nothing good about me. And I felt that way for years. I didn't do anything. If you look around, women, you'll see how many they keep their eyes down, and they keep their eyes down, and they're unkept because that's how they feel. It's like their exterior matches how they feel inside.
It's funny that you say that, because I caught myself doing, you're going to like this.
Okay.
When I didn't have any money, and like at the end of my pay period or whatever, and I didn't have any money, I wore old underpants.
Oh. And
didn't bother with my hair, and when I got paid again, it was back to those new. Now, isn't that ridiculous?
Really? So that's so financially is where you put your worth.
Well, I did then.
You did then. It's where you felt like, well, I don't have any money. I can't do this. Well, you could have.
And I did it subconsciously.
Isn't that funny?
It's weird. And one day I caught myself rooting for old underpants, and I thought, why?
Why
am I looking for old underpants? There's all these
nice ones
right here.
Oh, so you chose the bad ones right out of the drawer.
Yeah.
It was like you didn't go buy any. You just didn't put them on because you didn't feel like you were worthy. Oh, it's funny.
Isn't that weird? And
that
then
is
I caught myself. I sat on my bed and I thought, that is, and how long have I been doing
how long,
that?
It's almost like a self-sabotage, isn't it? I went through all my old underwear out.
Yeah, mine are
trash.
Gone now too.
Gone. They're gone. If they aren't cute,
except for the ones
I don't wear
my
them.
mommy bought me.
Well, then
They're Victoria's Secrets, and they've lasted forever.
Well, as long as they're cute.
They are very cute.
Okay. Otherwise, you gotta even if it's
like
mama, they gotta go.
Polka dots.
Oh, see, there it is.
Yeah, they're cute.
That's just good fun. That's good, even for you. Don't do it for someone else. Do it for you, because
no one else sees my underpants except my husband.
Well, that's probably good.
That's true.
That's probably good.
Note to self.
Note to self.
That's good.
That's good, but you know what you're wearing.
Yeah.
But I didn't paint my nails. I didn't. I just didn't do my hair. I didn't wear a lot of makeup. I just didn't feel good about myself. So I figured, why bother?
Right.
Oh my gosh! And I remember when I used to. We had our doctor had a when you walked up, it was like a glass. It looked like a mirror. You know, talking like the whole front.
Yeah.
And when I would have to take the boys when they were little, and that's when I really felt the worst about myself. Is I would I'd park the car strategically, yes, and I would walk up to the door, and I would keep my eyes down. I didn't want to see myself. I didn't want to see myself in the.
I'm glad you're not like that anymore.
No, I'm not.
See, but you're here now. Now you know what you went through.
Well, I know.
You're helping other women that are going through.
I know what it's like
to
keep
purpose to your pain.
Absolutely, I know what it's like to not want to look up. I didn't want to see myself. I hated myself that much that I didn't even want to see myself, and I did that for years. Oh gosh, I did it for years.
And what made you What brought you out of that?
That's a good question. I think after, that is a really good question, Deb, that what brought me out of it. A lot of it has happened just recently, and I started to realize life is so short, and this is me, and this is who and what I am, and I am more than my weight. I'm more than my hair. I'm more than the flaws that I see, and we all are. And I think that I really had to either believe in the message of Bring Pretty Back, or not. And I did. It just took me a long time to accept me and love me for me. And it got so bad. It got so bad where I felt so badly about myself that I was watching a show on Investigation Discovery, and a woman was abducted, and she was talking about how many people would miss her and love her. And I actually thought to myself, oh, how nice for her. She has so many people that love her. And I didn't feel I did. I did.
And you do, don't you?
I do.
Isn't that
But
silly?
I truly felt like, my
sad.
self-worth was so low that I didn't think anyone would care if I was abducted. Isn't that crazy? But that's how I felt. It's and I caught myself feeling that way.
And people could tell you, oh, you have no reason to feel like that, and that does not help.
No, and I know.
When you think that when you feel like that, you feel like that, and it doesn't matter what anybody says.
It doesn't, and that's where we have to, start filling yourself, filling your heart up and your soul up and yourself up with whatever it is that makes you feel good. And that's why I talk about doing your nails. I talk about it so much because it's a little gentle thing, a little gentle reminder that when you look down and your nails are done, that you've taken that care for yourself, that you're worth it, that when you look down, there's something pretty about you, and it doesn't matter if you have money or you don't. You can be.
That's exactly
right.
right.
And it doesn't matter if you're 100 pounds or 500 pounds. You can do your fingernails, and they don't have to be hot pink like me. But even if they're clear and they're even if you paint them, shape them and paint them clear, it's that little act of self-care that is so critical. That's why the nails are so important to me, because anyone can do it, to just really take care of you. And does that make sense?
I say that in my book and Divalution as well.
Yeah, you have to.
My thing is my toes.
Your toes. Oh, well.
I love to have my toes done.
Oh, you love to have them done. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And we all have our thing. You know, maybe you don't like painted nails. That's okay.
Like I said, do it clear.
Maybe eyeliner.
Then do it eyeliner. Do something. Do something.
Lipstick, something.
Love you, Teresa. Do something. But yes, but even you're right. Do whatever it is for you that makes you feel pretty. Right. Do that. Whether it be earrings or it doesn't. I don't care what it is. I don't even care what it is. But do something and start paying attention to what you've forgotten.
You know, like those underpants. That day that I figured that out, it was like, wow.
Life-changing.
Ding! And so now, when I feel myself reaching for those, why? No.
Well, I want to know why they're still in the drawer.
Well, there's only one pair that's old still in the drawer.
That's my question. That's why are they still there to reach for?
Because my mommy gave them to me.
Oh, those you can have. Okay, if there's a sentimental value to the panties, then I say, all right, then keep it. But you're right. But these are the things that we need to do for ourselves. You know, it can be something as little as, if you love to drink tea, buy yourself a nice box of tea. Mm-hmm. Believe me, I can go on and on and on about ways to bring pretty back into your life. I'm telling you, for like under $10, because there are so many things you can do.
Have to be, and it's one of those things. Being back in nature, it replenishes so many people.
It does.
And
it does.
It can be. How much does it cost to go for a walk on a walking trail?
Free.
Nothing.
Nothing. It costs nothing.
How much does it cost to drive your car down to the waterfront and get out and walk?
Get out and walk. Or go meet a friend, like I said, I could go on and on. Have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, just do something for you. And as I said, don't think that this is selfish, because it's not selfish. I'm telling you, it is not selfish. And if you haven't taken care of yourself for a long time, it will feel selfish to you because of the fact that you haven't done it in so long. But once you start, I'm telling you, it feels really good.
And then you start replenishing that well that gets emptied out. Filling up that
do.
glass of water. And it's so much easier to give. And you're not coming from a place of emptiness and suffering.
Resentment.
And resentment. Oh, and resentment. Once that sets in, that's ugly.
That's ugly.
It's really
That's
ugly.
not pretty.
No.
That's not pretty at all. That's ugly. When resentment starts setting in, and bitterness, and that's like
that's
it.
And then your whole face changes, and you get
it does.
You get what I like to call
RBF.
Resting bitch face.
Resting bitch
and
face.
If you look, today I had lunch with a friend of mine.
Okay.
Usually on Wednesdays we go have lunch together, and there was a group of 4 women that were in there, and all 4 of them had RBF.
Really?
All 4 of them, and I couldn't
it's
help
so
it.
sad.
I had to go talk to them. And I said, have
Go.
you guys heard about the Divalution?
Yes.
And they said no, and I said, it's right up here on the corner. We're a women's internet radio station and just a place to hang out. You should come check us out sometime.
Very nice.
So we'll see if
good for you. Good. You spread the word for you.
We need to laugh together.
Oh my gosh,
fun.
I have laughed more I'll tell you, Shelley.
Is this
No. This is my friend Shelley. Shelley Lundquist. She just said about your panties. She'll get rid of all of them together. Go commando and feel free. That's my friend Monique. That's my friend Mo. We have this conversation all the time. But I love that, Shelley. Yeah. So if it makes you feel pretty, go.
That's
go,
right.
girl.
That's
but
right. There was a day I would have done that. It was a few years ago, though.
Oh, you're never
More
too
than
old to go
care.
commando, I don't think.
And I do at home.
I think that, but these are the little things that we can do and to help each other. But yes, oh my gosh, laughter is so important. And don't you? This is the truth. This is how I feel. The more, especially when you don't feel good about yourself, the more you retreat into yourself.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
You retreat more into yourself,
In
and
your
that is the
old
worst.
underpants.
In your old underpants and sweatpants. Don't do your nails. Not good. It's not pretty. But if you can get with some girlfriends and laugh and just talk. But here's the thing. Here's another thing. And this is really easy to do, and I know you'll agree with me, Deb, is when you get together with your girlfriends, sometimes it just becomes into a complaining session.
Yeah. That's not good.
That's not. No,
Because
if there's
then
something.
you're creating that downward spiral instead of lifting each other up.
Exactly.
And that's what you need to do.
Sometimes it's like, hey, this is going on in my life, or that's going on in my life. And there's a reality of that, of things going,
Right.
Things going on, because that's reality. But if you can lighten it up and say, well, what, and instead of getting around talking about how fat you are, or we'll say, oh my God, I put this weight on, and that, and we'll talk about our weight and that type of thing, which is ridiculous. Why not talk about things that we're doing great in our lives and we're happy with? How about that? Turn it around where we're not talking about what's bad, we start talking about what's good.
Yeah, because if you focus on what's good, more good will come.
More good will come.
If you focus on what's bad, more bad will come.
Well, you feel
Because the
terrible.
universe thinks that's what you
What you want.
want. Yeah.
And it just you get in a bad mindset.
Right.
It's just a bad mindset.
Right.
And you're right. It's just, I've been really trying to do that. Getting where it's like, we're gonna get together, have fun.
And sometimes it's really hard.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes life just knocks you for a loop, and that's where you just have to pull yourself together.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to grieve. Like that.
You do.
The sweatpants and no makeup
Yes.
period.
Yes.
Sometimes you have got to grieve and let that part of it just sink in and come back stronger and not make that mistake again.
Yes.
Or not go down that road again.
You're right. Oh, I had to claw my way out of that. I was really getting into a dark place, and the more I didn't do for myself, the less I did for myself.
Right.
And it is a spiral.
Girlfriends come in handy.
That's when girlfriends say.
That's when you lift somebody up.
Yes.
And you know what? If you feel yourself slipping like that, it's okay to tell somebody, I'm having a really hard time. And when somebody tells you that, go out, have a glass of wine and talk.
Yeah, go and have a glass of wine and talk and
fake it till you make
say
it.
what's going on, and then start.
And then let it go.
You're right. What's going on. Get to the bottom of that, and then say, okay, what can we do? What can we do well? What can we change? What can we do to turn this around?
Right.
What can we do to turn this around where it isn't, a poor me session for 6 months, and
Yes.
it's easy to do.
I'm a divorce coach. You know that.
Yes.
And I have worked with women. Well, I do an first time talk to see if I would like to work with them.
Like a consultation.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. And I have worked with women that I thought were freshly divorced, brand new.
Yes.
Pain is excruciating. That were divorced for 5 years.
Oh, I know.
And
yes, I know exactly what you're talking
Oh
about.
my
You would think that it just
move
happened.
on, yes.
Yep, it's been a half a decade.
I have a coaching program that I call Just Get Over It.
Just get over it.
Yeah, because that's what my husband said to me when we were getting divorced. Just I wish you'd just get over it, he said.
Oh.
So I wrote a program, Just Get Over It.
Just get over it.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's hard.
It's very hard. But you're right. You can
do it.
You get
If
into
you're
that.
alive, it's not the worst thing you've been through. It's probably not the worst thing you're ever going to go through.
And even if it is, you have to go through it.
That's right.
Even if it is the worst thing you've ever been through or will go through, you have to get through it.
Right.
And I used to own a gift shop, and I remember the two older ladies came in one time, and they said who they were, and I recognized the last name, and I said, oh, well, do you know, I don't remember, it doesn't matter. And the friend looked at me like, oh, don't do it. Don't, and I said it, and she said, and the other friend just got going about that person. It was her ex-husband,
no.
and I felt so badly because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I brought it up, because I thought, I thought it was like you said, I thought it was like that weekend. You would have thought that he just left her. It was like 25 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like 25 years.
Let it go. And so
she was just as bitter.
In misery for 25
Yes.
years, all
Yes.
self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted. It's like 25 years
That's
later.
wrong.
I thought, oh my gosh, you have spent so much of this 25 years making your life miserable because
He won.
Yeah, I thought, wow, I mean, a quarter century. It's time to let that go. But yeah, she was so bitter and angry, and it was not
that
pretty.
Poor friend probably.
Oh, that
heard
friend,
of
well, 30
times.
years, 25 years or whatever. And she just looked at me like, oh, why did John?
A can of worms.
I'm so
open.
sorry. I'm sorry I opened that up. I'm sorry I opened that. But, but it became her, but, it was. I thought, so I learned a lesson. But, but people will do that, but it becomes their identity. I think sometimes, don't you think it does?
Yes.
Like, oh, this is what happened to me or whatever. I thought, oh boy, no. So yeah, so it became her identity, and it just wasn't all that good.
You missed Diva Day this year.
I did miss Diva Day this year,
and it was
unfortunately
really good. And our theme was learning to dance in the rain.
Oh, okay. Because there's always rain.
Pretty much what it was about.
Yeah, there's always rain.
What we just talked about.
Yes, yeah, because there's always something.
Right.
There's always something
and
that
so
you're going
what?
through.
Rain goes away.
It does. It goes away, and I'm really into this whole life is so short thing, and that's why you asked what kind of got me over. What it was, there was a lot of things that got me there, and that got me out of it. I spent a lot of time on that bathroom floor sobbing into a towel.
Aww.
A lot of, oh my gosh, so much time. So I know what it's like to just be on the floor sobbing in a towel and just being absolutely beside myself with angst and sadness and being low in depression. It is overpowering.
Yes.
It is, and of course you're in that bathroom. You're the mother, so you're in there in the bathtub,
so
nobody hears you, and then you come out and pretend like everything's okay.
I did it in the tub.
In the tub, oh my gosh, I've cried more in the bathtub than I have. I mean, so many tears and just sob, and because you're in the bathroom, no one can see you. And I think that's why there's so much emotion goes on in there.
It's safe there.
It's safe. You can lock the door and then come out and just kind of go on with yourself. But yeah, there's a lot of tears in the bathroom. So I know, and that's when I talk with ladies about ways to bring pretty back, and I say I know what it's like to be on that floor. I know what it's like to be on that floor and think that there's really you're so low, you can barely even feel like there's any hope.
And it's so heartbreaking to even picture that, because you've been there and I've been there. I don't want anybody to hurt like that.
Oh, I know. That's one thing about, that's what I said about Bring Pretty Back is.
All you can do is hug.
That's all you can do. Yeah, sometimes you can't say anything. It's just people have to go through what they're going through. But that's one thing about Bring Pretty Back is you're in the Divalution as well. Is you're not alone, and that's what this is so important to me. And that's why I said there's no competition, and there's no just because someone else is pretty doesn't mean you're not. Just because someone else is successful doesn't mean that you can't be. Just because someone has something that you want, it doesn't mean you can't have it. If it's something that you desire and want, you can have it as well. And I think also you'll agree with me, Deb, that you can, if there's something that you want to know and need something, you can ask for help.
Yes.
Ask for help. Ask that person, hey Deb, how did you get a radio station? You'd be happy to tell someone how you got, how it's a lot of hard work, but you would help another woman, and that's what it's about, because it's just about us helping one another. We don't need to be alone.
No, for sure. And back to the synchronicity.
Yes.
Everybody that you meet comes into your life for a reason.
Always.
And it's up to you to figure out why, whether it be for a week, a year, or
forever,
half your life. Yeah, you need to figure out why that person is there, and sometimes it's to help them. Sometimes it's for them to help you.
Yes, or both.
Sometimes it's a mutual.
Yes.
Right. And just know that the universe is bringing these people into your life for a reason.
Yes.
And
there are no
it's funny
coincidences.
because, right. We don't hear from each other for months.
Yes.
And then we'll run into each other.
And then it's like, whoop,
yeah.
God, yes.
And
then
okay, time to talk again.
Then we can
right.
sit for hours and hours
Yeah.
and catch up and talk.
And the first time we met was so much fun.
That was fun. That was fun.
I'll never forget
that. Was good fun.
We laughed for 2 hours, 3 hours, I think.
It was not in the middle of the road.
It was by far.
It was not a middle of the road conversation. Oh God, there's nothing like a good joke.
My husband we still laugh about
Good.
it.
Good. It's just fun. So yeah, you're right. So pay attention to why people come in your life. So let's recap. All right, we talked about how intuition is everything. Listen to your heart and soul. That number one. That's
And
number
it's
one.
okay if you make mistakes and not trust your intuition, because next time you're not going to make that mistake.
Oh yeah,
You
only make it
need-
once.
It's try and fail.
Try and fail. Yeah,
until
make it
you
once.
Become very in tune with it.
Yeah, and start and then think back.
What
Say,
those feelings,
yeah.
those gut feelings mean.
What do they mean?
If you go against them and it turns out bad, then you know the next
Yeah.
time you have
Listen.
them.
Listen.
And that's the only way you're going to learn.
Oh, of course. And so, yeah, you're right. Listen to your intuition. That's number one. That is absolute number one thing. Number two is take time for you. Take time for yourself, and whether it be something as small as a new kind of coffee or tea, paint your nails, which of course I'm a big proponent for, and really promote that. And I think that I think also that we need to support each other. That's another topic we talked about today.
Be in nature.
Be in nature, yes. Or yes, whatever it is for you. If that's in nature or be outside, get quiet. I think that's
Right.
whatever that means for you.
Because
Whether
you
it be,
can't hear what's going on inside unless you're quiet.
I have a friend that she tries to be over busy all the time.
Ooh,
And
that's not good.
no, she tries to be over busy because then she doesn't have to think. And she said that the busier I am, the less I have to think. So she's busy all the time, so she doesn't have to think. So it's not necessarily healthy, and so that's her mechanism. But whatever it is for you, do whatever it is for you that makes you happy, makes you feel pretty, and that's where you have to start. And also no one knows you more than you. They just don't. So thank you so much for being on the show today with me and Deb on the Divalution Show, and you can go to w4divas.com, and also you can go to bringprettyback.com. You can find me at bringprettyback.com and Deb at w4divas.com. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us today. We appreciate it so much. Go out and make someone else feel pretty today. Go out, do something for yourself, and go do something for do something for someone else and pay pretty forward. Thank you so much, and go out and have a pretty day.